I am building a muscle activity sensor. You simply place it on your skin over a muscle and measure the electrical signals. I'm starting a new company. It is hardware and it is solo for now. But here's the thing. The muscle activity sensor itself is not the most important thing I'm building in this company. What I'm really building is a hardware company in a box. Hi everyone. My name is Indira and I'm documenting my journey building hardware products from scratch. This is video 1 of a 5-part series. I'll be making more videos and I'll share everything. The decisions, the learnings, and the mistakes. Hopefully, at the end of it all, you'll see a hardware product get launched from scratch. So quick note, this is definitely not a medical device. It's a consumer product. There's lots of uses for a muscle activity sensor. It could be used for physical therapy. It can be used to improve your workouts at the gym. It can be used for sleep monitoring. Lots of potential uses. Right now, my focus is to make sure the hardware for the muscle activity sensor works perfectly. And the use case really determines what will happen in the software application more than what's going to change in the hardware. So I'm not zeroing in on a specific use case yet. Every hardware product needs the same fundamental pieces. Think of it like a set of Lego blocks. So by building them really well one time and building them in a reusable modular way, the next product and the product after that, they're already halfway done. But you got to build with that in mind. So first, you have the tech blocks, the technology blocks. That's the hardware itself, the sensor, the charging circuit for the battery, the Bluetooth chip, the microcontroller. Then you have the firmware, that's the program that goes on the microcontroller. You have the software application that sits on the phone, and you've got the cloud backend, right? And a lot of what's going on in each of these pieces is going to be the same for every product. Next are the sales blocks. How do you sell something that you make? You need a website. You need to be able to process payment. You need to be able to advertise. I've never done any of that. Facebook ads, influencer outreach. But I'm going to build that muscle now. I'm going to build that engine now because a lot of that, I believe, will be reusable for the next product. And finally, the one that kills most hardware startups, the manufacturing blocks. How do you find a factory? Which factory can you trust? How do you negotiate the price on all of your components? How do you make sure your assembly line is efficient and that your assembly workers can build your product without making mistakes? I have been part of large teams that have done manufacturing before. I'm an electrical engineer, but I have never owned the whole process end to end, and I've never done it on a bootstrap, shoestring budget. I've visited a few factories. I'm building those relationships and knowledge base right now. I'm starting small in the US so that I can be hands-on during the factory build. Jeff Bezos talks a lot about two-way doors and one-way doors. In Amazon, he encourages people to take very quick decisions because in software, a lot of decisions are two-way doors. Like you make a decision, you test it out with the consumers, and if it doesn't work well, you just reverse it. You roll back the software change you made. In hardware, unfortunately, most doors are one-way doors. What that means is every decision you make, if it turns out to be a wrong decision, it's really expensive to reverse. And expensive both in terms of cost and time. So if you make a mistake on a board, it's going to take you months to fix it and redo that board. If you make a mistake on a chip, depends on how complex the chip is, but it's going to take you 8 months or a year to fix that mistake and get that chip back. Right? In hardware, most decisions are one-way doors, so they can all seem like bigger decisions with no consequences. That is just the reality of hardware. I'm trying to turn all these scary permanent doors into a hallway of possibilities. I don't know if the analogy still works, but the idea is I'm trying to make sure that if you're going to reverse a decision, the cost is small and the decision can be reversed faster. So yes, I'm building a muscle activity sensor, but what I'm really building is a Launchpad, a hardware company in a box. And that is the real product. If you want to watch this come together, follow along. If you're building something or thinking about it or have a question for me, leave a comment.